Hey guys, welcome to Gunpla News, episode 32 for August 2017. Had to think about the year for a minute there. That's strange. This episode, like last month, is going to be just all 5 parts in one episode, so I'm going to cover some news about Gunpla and Gundam-related things, and then some new announcements, of which we didn't really have all that many. Some updates on some stuff that was already coming out. Most of the stuff that's coming out that we know of is coming out this month, so we don't need to talk about that stuff, so there's really not all that much to talk about either. And then a little bit of third-party news, and then just one feature kit that I want to share with you guys this month. So this month's episode probably going to be a little bit shorter, which I think is not so bad. I usually try to do a little bit more stuff, but just been really busy finishing up some projects here, so just want to get you guys this news here. And also, I listened to your guys' feedback in last month's episode where I omitted the stuff about figures. I said I didn't really care too much to talk about figures and things like that if you guys don't really care to hear about it. But a lot of people said they do enjoy hearing about the new figures, the Robot Damashi and metal build, that sort of stuff. So I will include that now again, back from now on. So there's really not all that much of that this month either, but there is a little bit of things like that. Also including like Gashapon and things like that. So any sort of relevant kind of figure things and like that, which there is one actually really cool that I'm really super excited for, so I do want to talk about that. But let's get into the news, because there's actually a fair amount of news just regarding the 1-to-1 scale unicorn that's still under construction there in Tokyo in front of Diversity at Gundam Base Tokyo, which will be opening very soon. Later this month, Gundam Base Tokyo will be opening, but the 1-to-1 scale unicorn seems like it's still probably got a little bit of ways to go. There hasn't been an official opening date for that announced yet. But what we did see is that it does have an opening V-fin, and I thought that was interesting because I had kind of ruled out the possibility that it was going to transform, at least between Unicorn and Destroy mode. I still thought there's a possibility they'll make it go from Destroy mode to Unchained mode, because it's basically just staying in Destroy mode and just a few extra things opening up, which I thought that they could probably definitely do that. But a full transformation Unicorn to Destroy mode, I'm going to say, is probably going to be too hard, just mostly because of the legs, especially the heels and the thighs need to extend, and that's just a lot of weight that's pushing up. So I don't know if they're really going to be able to do that. Or I'm sure they could if they wanted to, but that's a little bit much more of an investment anyway. So what I'm guessing now that we've seen the V-fin opening is that it may have a few parts that sort of transform, like maybe aside from the V-fin, I don't know what else, maybe just like the chest vents, maybe the chest opens up a little bit or something, or I don't know, some other parts maybe open up, but we'll have to see. I don't know, but it's cool. The V-fin opens, that's something. I don't know, it's not really the most exciting thing in the world, especially if the rest of it doesn't transform. It'll look kind of weird to have a Destroy mode Unicorn Gundam with just the Unicorn mode V-fin, but we'll have to see. Who knows? Anyway, so I think the head would also be a really difficult part for them to make that transform. But moving on to some anime stuff, anime-related stuff. The Gundam Build Fighters Battle Log episode came online less than a week ago, I think. About a week ago, featuring the Ballistic Zaku versus the Reversible Gundam. The Ballistic Zaku, basically just the Char's custom Zaku 2 from Gundam The Origin, and just had like some different weapons, which we'll be getting in a separate weapons pack. We'll talk about that later. And then the Reversible Gundam is basically the Reborn's Gundam, but a little bit customized, a little bit more than the Zaku anyway. I actually kind of quite like the look of that. I've never really been too into the Reborn's Gundam, but the Reversible Gundam does look a little bit more interesting. And that, again, we'll talk about a little bit more here when we talk about the new kit announcements. But at the end of the episode, we saw a very, very split-second glimpse at a kind of hint for the next episode, which will feature the new amazing Black Warrior that we saw, that we're getting a kit of that as well. Some new version of the Tryon, and then some other third mobile suit, which is kind of in the back. Really hard to see, but the head and mono eye sort of looks like Shinanju, but the rest of it looks much more bulky, so I don't know if that's going to be some kind of new custom version of the Shinanju, or if you guys have any other ideas. Maybe I'm just not seeing it. Let me know what you guys think. At first I thought it sort of looked like a Shamblo, but I thought, no way, but it looks really big, so I don't know. Well, we'll just have to see, I guess. Then the other Build Fighters anime, Jim's Counterattack, episode 1 is going to be coming on August 25th, so we got a new kind of little trailer preview, sort of a preview, teaser, I guess you'd call that, for that, and the trailer, teaser, whatever, did feature a few of the kits and some interesting kits in there. Some had a lot of different versions of the GM, like a GM Sniper and other things like that. But it did have some really interesting suits. The thing that most interested me was the Bonds dock. It had like this all gold Bonds dock there, and I don't really know if that's like some effect, like it has some kind of like super mode. It's like it's a Build Fighters thing, so who knows if that's what just the basic model kit looks like. But what we saw in the trailer anyway, it's all gold. So I would really, really love to get a kit of that someday. So just because we're seeing it for a split second in this teaser doesn't mean anything, but it does at least give me a 1% chance, 1% of hope that there's a chance we may be getting some sort of newer kit. I think that would be a perfect kit to come out in the RE100 line. It's a little bit larger, it's a little bit more obscure, and it's just sort of a weird design. It's kind of similar to the Hama Hama in that way. So I think it'd be perfect for the RE100 line. An HD would be nice, but we'll just have to see. Then about Gundam Thunderbolts, the Gundam Thunderbolt Bandit Flower is coming to theaters in November 18th, and then I think probably at the same time on Blu-ray and DVD. But basically it's just a compilation of episodes 5 through 8, so kind of like what they did with episodes 1 through 4, and they made December Sky. For episodes 5 through 8, they're making Bandit Flower. Seems like a bit of an odd name, but and it says that it's going to include some new footage, but they know that will be like less than a minute probably of new footage in there, but it will have something new, at least that we haven't seen before, included with that. So I'm looking forward to that, and just those episodes were really good, so it'll be cool to just see them again, just all as one thing. Then Gundam The Origin Clash at Loom will be opening pretty soon here. And then there's going to be some theatrical exclusive kits. Now, obviously, you'll have to be in Japan to get these, but if you are really interested in getting them, I'm sure you'll be able to get them through some sort of proxy service. So if you're interested, here's the info on that. There's going to be the HG Shars Zaku 2, obviously the Origin version. That was the first HG Origins kit that came out. Now it's going to be available in clear color for 2,000 yen, and there's also going to be Rambo Rawl's HG Boog, also for 2,000 yen, also just in clear color. So a couple of HG Origin kits, both of those kits are really nice. So if you're a big fan of those and you like clear color kits and you've got some money to burn, maybe try sorting out one or two of those. Then at C3 Tokyo, which is an event that they do every year, and that's coming at the end of August 26th and 27th. They're going to have a couple of exclusive kits on sale there at that event. Also, if you're not in Japan, you're not in Tokyo, able to go there, you'll have to go through some sort of proxy service to get these. But that is the 1/100 scale full mechanics Gundam Barbatos Lupus clear color version for 3,000 yen. So that seems familiar. I think they've made that before, but maybe not. Maybe that was the HG. Anyway. And then there's the HG Build Fighters Super Fumina Axis Angel Mark II version. So it's just the obviously Cubelay inspired version of the Super Fumina, and now they made it the Cubelay Mark II inspired version where it's red with yellow accents instead of white with pink. So that I like the look of that, but obviously if you paint and you have just the standard kit, you can just make that yourself. I don't think this is going to be coming with any like water slide decals or anything. Maybe some different stickers, but maybe even not that. I would imagine. The last couple things here, Gundam Weapons Modeling Master HG Edition. Gundam Weapons is a sort of, is it a magazine or a book? I don't really know what to call it, but it's a big magazine, and they're really nice books, and you can pre-order them. I know Hobby Link Japan usually gets them, and then other website services, I don't know, shops also will get them, but if you're interested in getting that, this one does look super nice. So this is the HG edition, so it's focused all on HG kits. This is coming out in September for 2,600 yen. I know it is available for pre-order on Hobby Link Japan now already, but these books are produced by Hobby Japan, so I guess Hobby Japan has their magazine, so I guess these would technically be a book then, I guess, anyway. So, but they're magazine-esque. Anyway, so this is just a few of the featured kits that it's noted that are going to be included with this are from some like really like top level builders in Japan. These are going to include the Zeta Gundam, the Zeta Plus C1, the Full Armor Unicorn Gundam, the XS Gundam, and more. So those are all really awesome designs, so I'm really actually considering getting this book. I sometimes really like getting books, but other times not, because I just know myself and I just don't really look at them as much as I would like to, because I'm usually doing something whatever else, and I don't often take enough time to sit down and look at books. That's why I have this one on my desk. because I'm trying to get through it as much as possible, just chipping away whenever I can between other things. Just reading through this book, Kevin's book. If you guys, a little shout out to Kevin, but it's super good. So check that out if you haven't. Then the last couple things here. This is the Gundam decals number 109 to 114. So Bandai just put out a set of 4 different decal sheets just a month or two ago, and then they have the next set of decal sheets coming out. So these are really nice waterslide decals for 1/44 scale kits. They're all for 1/44. You could use them for 100, I guess. Obviously, you could use it for whatever you want. But these are coming in October for 380 yen each, so not too expensive either. That's not too bad, really, for these. I would have rather just paid 380 yen more on top of the price of the kit to just get them included with the kit. But Bandai just really doesn't like giving waterslide decals with their kits. So these waterslide decals are for the RG 00 Riser, the RG Gundam Astray Red Frame, the RG Unicorn Gundam. There's an MSV set, so this is for like all like MSV. It's not all Zaku's, but there's mostly like MSV Zaku stuff. So like Uma Lightning, I think Robert Gilliam and things like that. So these ones that they've been releasing these MSV versions in Master Grade as P-Bandai kits, but if you wanted to like just make and paint your own in HG scale, you can use these custom decals. So that's really cool. I really like that set of decals. There's also Gundam the Origin sets number 2. So there was a previous set for different Origin models. This is the second one for some different models from the Origin line, and then also Gundam Thunderbolt as well, mostly for the Atlas and the Ground Gundam S-Type is what most of these are for, and then it has a few other custom markings like for the Psycho Zaku and things like that. Last thing here too is the Mobile Suit Gundam Pilot Collection from Bam Presto. So I'm not really sure what these are, if these are going to be like sort of like a candy toys or like the ball toys where, you know, like you put in like, they're usually like somewhere between 100 and 500 yen, but and then you get the ball and you get like a random one. So I'm not really sure exactly what these are going to be, but these were on display at a recent event there in Tokyo, and I'm really looking forward to getting some of these. However they're coming out, whatever the deal is with them, but I'm looking forward to it because some of these look really nice. They're mostly, for the most part, from the original Gundam series from like 0079. And unicorns, so there's a lot of really cool ones there. There's a few other ones in there as well, some from 0083 as well from Stardust Memory. One thing that I guess I should have mentioned at the beginning of this video is that if you do only want to see some certain parts of this video, the time codes are down below if you want to skip to some different parts. But from now, I'm going to start talking about some of the announcements. So we have some new announcements for this month, some new figure stuff, a whole lot of P-Bandai stuff, and then 3 standard release stuff things announced. So getting into some figures, there's a P-Bandai Metal Robot Damashi XS Gundam Task Force Alpha version of that. So anyways, this is coming in December for 1700 yen. This looks definitely different from the XS figure that we had at the beginning of this year, or is around the beginning of this year, I think that came out, or the end of last year, that we had that version of the XS. But this is it definitely looks a little bit different, definitely different in the proportions of this. So maybe if you prefer this look of the XS Gundam, 17,000 yen. I think, did I say 1,700? 17,000 yen. So it's gonna be expensive, $150 to $200 depending on how much you have to pay for your services there. But it's not going to be cheap, and it's a P-Bandai, so, but it does look nice. Robot Damashi GM Sniper Custom version anime. So the Robot Damashi version anime line is continuing very well, apparently. I guess they must be selling well because they keep making them. So this is the GM Sniper Custom. Getting into some more of this kind of MSV kind of stuff with these, which is cool. This is coming out in December for 5,500 yen. Definitely more affordable, but that's quite a lot. I mean, you can buy the majority of master grades available for that price or less. But anyway, if you're liking those figures, there's that one coming out. There's also going to be a Robot Damashi Zaku Mine Layer version anime. So we don't have a full photos of this yet, but we have just this teaser that says that I think it's later this month they're going to announce it fully, but they're just saying it's coming. So there's going to be a Zaku Mine Layer as well, which is it's a really cool variation of the Zaku. I like that one quite a bit. The master grade is pretty awesome. There's going to be a Next Edge style XS Gundam. We don't have the release date or price set for this yet, but I would say December or January probably. It's a little bit of a ways off because we have a bunch of other Next Edge figures that are also in the lineup coming out later this fall. But yeah, like I said previously, I still haven't had any next set style figure come out that really made me really want to get it, because I just typically don't really like figures as much. I prefer to actually build something. But this one is going to be tempting. I love the XS Gundams, so I'm sure that's going to be pretty awesome looking. But also the next set of Mobile Suit Ensemble, set number 4, is going to be coming in November for 500 yen each. This has some pretty interesting stuff that I think some of you guys will probably be really interested in. There's the new Gundam, as well as a new Gundam booster set, or a heavy weapons set. It's basically the heavy weapons parts for the new Gundam, so you'd have to get those together. There's a camphor, and then there's also a fin funnel. It's just like a weapon set. It's like a set for weapon set, but it's just like fin funnels and weapons for the camphor. So fin funnels for the new Gundam, and then weapons, the chain mine and bazookas for the camphor. And so it's weapons in that set. And then also a woundwort, so from Advance of Zeta. So that'll be pretty awesome. Getting into the more obscure, though, Mobile Suit Ensemble Gedlav and Einarad. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but this is stuff, if you couldn't tell by looking at it, from Gundam Victory. So no release date or price set for these, but again, I would say probably later, around December or something probably. So it'll be a set of these, just this sold as like a special set of that. Also going to be a special set, and this is the one I'm really excited for, the Mobile Suit Ensemble Gundam TR6 Woundwort and a Dandelion 2 set. So this is the first time we're ever getting anything of like a model or a kit or anything of the Dandelion or the Dandelion 2, and even the Woundwort. It's still like official something from Bandai. I think the Mobile Suit Ensemble figure of the Woundwort, I think, is the first Woundwort anything that they've ever made too. So the fact that we're getting that, and the Dandelion 2, which is just this awesome Advance of Zeta thing. Like, if you're an Advance of Zeta fan, you've got to be excited about that, because it looks so awesome. One thing that I don't like about the Mobile Suit Ensemble line is how they want to make everything like really customizable and interchangeable. So they have all these attachment points, all these hard points everywhere on it, and it just makes everything look really ugly. I really don't like it. So that's going to be the deciding factor for me whether I get this or not. I really want to get that. And so far, just from the images that we've seen, the hard points on it don't look too bad. I think I can kind of ignore them for the most part, but we'll have to see. Once we get some more photos of that, if I really don't like the look of those hard points, that really distracts from me, I'll maybe wait to see if maybe someday we might get some model kit of that or something. I kind of doubt it, but I would love it, but we'll just have to see. Anyway, but in the meantime, I'm really looking forward to seeing more about this. This one, again, I'd say probably not coming out till December or January, so we've got some time on that, but I'm excited. Next, the next set of Exceed Zaku heads is coming out. So this is going to be Collection 3. It's going to be out in November for 500 yen each. So I know a lot of people have really been enjoying these heads. I haven't yet to get one, because I'm not really as into the design. I mean, I love Zaku's, but the head design of these is not really to my personal taste. It's just a little bit too, something doesn't quite look right for me personally. But I've seen some amazing customization jobs that people have done with these online, and they're pretty cool. But this set is going to include 3 new ones. One is the 8th MS team version of the Zaku 2, slightly different details. The Garma Zabi version of the Zaku 2, which obviously has the commander antenna and then the 4 like little Vulcan holes on it. So that one's pretty cool. I definitely probably would want that one the most if I was going to be getting one. And then also Char's Zaku 2, the Origin version. So this is the Origin styled version of Char's Zaku 2. So those 3 will be coming out in November. Alright, P-Bandai model kits. Let's get into some kit stuff now, shall we? The P-Bandai Master Grade Sandrock Custom EW will be out in October for 4,800 yen. And the Wing fans of the world are united in their frustration. So we all knew this was coming. They did the Death Scythe Hell and the Wing Gundam ages ago as normal releases, but then the Heavy Arms, the Nataku, were P-Bandai kits. So I think if you're surprised that this is a P-Bandai release, then you haven't really been paying attention to Bandai recently. But yeah, it's going to be a P-Bandai kit. But the other reaction that I've seen from a lot of people as well is that it's just really not that much different to it. But that's what makes good P-Bandai kits, I think, is when it's not that much different to it. I think like the Heavy Arms and the Nataku had a lot more different to it that warranted to be just I think those should have been standard releases. The Sandrock, though, it's really not all that much different. It's a little bit different parts. And then obviously the main difference is that it has the big cloak on it and the shoulder armor kind of to hold the cloak. And Interestingly, the cloak looks like it's going to be hard plastic or possibly soft plastic, but anyway, it's not going to be cloth, which will be interesting. So I think best case scenario, that'll be hard, just polystyrene plastic. Worst case scenario, I think that'll be like kind of soft plastic or vinyl, I guess is what I guess you would call that. So that I think would be harder to paint, but I'm not sure. The other weird thing is that they have waterside decals on the cloak, which is really weird. I don't really understand that. But I'm not planning on getting this. I like the Sandrock as much as the next guy, but I'm perfectly fine with just the regular standard release. I actually have one that I built a long time ago, and I like that kit just fine. The other thing that I've seen is that I would assume that this comes with the clear red heated chatels, but from what we've seen in the photos, it hasn't been photographed with those. So I'm wondering if those are going to be included or not. So that, I don't know, if you guys have seen any information on that, maybe leave a comment down below, let us know. But as far as I've seen, it hasn't been photographed with those, and I would think that Bandai would want to include those as like part of the promotion, that it does actually include those parts as well, because that is kind of one of the kind of gimmicks, I guess, of that kit, is that it has those included, but we haven't seen them, so I don't know. There's also going to be the P-Bandai Master Grade Justice Gundam Special Coating version, so no price or release date set for this yet, but as far as we can tell, looks like basically it's just the standard Master Grade Justice Gundam, and then it's just all like that kind of pearl high gloss coating. I think they did the same thing with the Freedom Gundam 2.0 when that came out, or recently after it came out. So that's a thing. I don't know, it's not really all that exciting, but some people might get excited about that. Also, a P-Bandai HGUC Zeta Gundam Wave Shooter Equipment Type. So this is a basically HGUC Revive, it's not Revive, but Gunpla Evolution Project Zeta Gundam, which is a great kit, fantastic kit by the way. But this has a different backpack and different shields. So the backpack parts are, I guess, basically like the wings are a little bit different, and the shield is kind of the biggest difference. So for me, when I saw this, I was like, okay, it has a different shield, and that's it. The backpack's wings is really not even that noticeable to me. I'm not a huge Zeta fan, so I guess those people who might be like super Zeta fans probably can see those differences like right away. But for me, I couldn't anyway. But this is coming out in October for 2,000 yen. So yeah, I don't know, it's interesting anyway. P-Bandai HGCE Strike Freedom DX edition or Deluxe edition of the Strike Freedom Gundam. So this is also, again, the Revive Strike Freedom Gundam. This is also coming out in October for 3,800 yen. 3,800 yen for that kit is pretty steep, but you do get quite a lot in there. So aside from all of the obvious effect parts, you have the Wing-A-Lot effect parts and the effect parts for the Dragoons and the effect parts for all the laser beam spray everywhere. And on top of that, the gold frame parts are gold coated, and the gold coating looks really nice. It looks very similar to like the Hyakushiki 2.0's gold coating, where it's like a little bit kind of dull. It's not that chrome gold anyway. So it looks quite nice, I think. Actually, you could obviously just paint that as yourself, but they're releasing this as a set. So if you want those effect parts, then you're going to get the gold chrome, the chrome plated parts as well. It is a little bit interesting that they're doing it that way. Usually when they release effect parts, they just release just the effect parts as a set, but I guess because it's the Strike Freedom, it's a really popular kit, and a lot of people maybe want that gold frame and don't paint, so I don't know, I guess it makes sense. The P-Bandai HG Build Fighters Amazing Zigok out in October for 1,600 yen. I'm actually super excited for this. I've never really been a big fan of the Zigok, to be honest, but those arms are super cool, I really gotta say. This is using the original Zigok HG kit, which is very old. It's one of the first in the HGC line. It's definitely one of the cheapest in the line as well, if not the cheapest. But yeah, so I actually haven't seen a whole lot of blowback on that. A lot of people don't really seem to care that it's based on a super old kit. They're just super excited about it because those arms look so cool. They have tentacle whips, cannons, claws, everything. It has like the little claws that fold out too, that kind of look like the shooting knife blades on the head of the Zogok. But I don't think these actually come off. I think they just fold out and that's it. But it looks really cool. I'm sure I'm not the only person that immediately thought, I'll get that and put those arms onto the real grade. I'm sure there's a lot of other people probably thinking the same thing. I'm not really sure if I'll actually end up doing that or even just cannibalizing this and using the arms on something else. I just really want those arms. They look really cool. So I'm getting that. 1,600 is not bad if you can get it for anything close to that. I pre-ordered mine from Samuel Decal. If you're interested, I would recommend doing the same. Next, the P-Bandai HD Build Fighters Chinya Gai. So it's not China Gai, it's Chinya Gai. Nya as in the cat sound in Japanese. And because this is the black cat version of the Chinya Gai, so instead of a yellow bear, it's a black cat. So it's got cat ears. It's obviously different colors, black and red, and has the cat hands, kind of glove things for it. So that's a thing. I think I'm really kind of surprised that Bandai didn't put this out as a standard kit. They really seem to be wanting to push their mecha girl kits as much as possible, but this one going to be limited release, so that's interesting. October, coming out in October for 2,400 yen for this anyway, for those of you guys who are interested. I just got the Chinya Gai kit in today, so I'll be snapping this up and reviewing it for you guys as soon as possible. I've heard that it's not that great, but it'll be interesting anyway, so I'll have that review for you guys coming soon anyway. And moving on to the P-Bandai HD Build Fighters Accelerate Jinx, or Accelerate GNX. I say GNX, some people say Jinx, whatever you want to call it. This one we just had a teaser image for this, so says that it will be fully announced on October 10th, which is like a day or two from now. So that'll be fully announced soon enough, and then I can talk more about that in next month's episode. But for now, we just got this teaser image. I haven't seen it. Apparently it's from the manga. And I don't think the manga is out yet either, otherwise we would have a larger reference photo that we could see of that. But it's going to be just a HD Build Fighters version of the GNX, which I think could be really cool, so I'm excited to see what that actually ends up looking like. I don't know what the HG GNX kit is like, if it's good or not. I've never built it. If you guys have, let me know what you think of it. And now, finally, we can get into the only 3 standard release kits that were announced for this month, and it's all Build Fighters. So hope you guys like Build Fighters, because here it comes. We have the first one is the HD Build Fighters Lightning Black Warrior, out in September for 1,800 yen. This is the HG Red Warrior. Now it's in black, and it has a new gun. And that's it. So I think this is one of those that you really got to wonder why they didn't just make this a P-Bandai kit, because it's just a recolor with one new gun. That's exactly what P-Bandai kits should be, but whatever. Anyway, it seems like some people are really excited about that. I guess I'm just not as much of a fan of the Red Warrior as other people are. The new gun does look pretty cool. It's very reminiscent of the Buster Gundam, actually, to be honest. It looks a lot like the Buster Gundam's super mega launcher thing. But that'll be out. Anyway, the next thing is the HD Build Fighters Reversible Gundam. So this I talked about briefly before earlier in this episode, and this will be out in October next month. October for 1,800 yen as well. 1,800 yen seems pretty nice. I think the Reborn's Gundam is a little bit larger, and the kit does look quite nice, I think. Like I said, I've never really been a big fan of the Reborn's Gundam, but this one does look really nice. I have to imagine that Naoki played a part in designing this. I haven't seen for sure, but I could guess that based on the design. It's very much in the design aesthetic and the colors that I think Naoki would use. So I like that. It's kind of, in a way, it looks very similar in terms of the colors, very similar to the Luna Gazer Gundam, which was designed by Naoki. So I guess that could be why it's reminding me of that. But I like this, so I'm looking forward to checking that kit out. I think it looks pretty cool. The transformation, on the other hand, is pretty awful. It looks... What is that? I don't know. It's like a dragon tank thing. I don't know what's going on with that transformation. I'll do it in the review for you guys, but that's it. I'm not interested in that at all, but the Gundam itself looks pretty cool. And last thing here is the HG Build Custom Ballistic Weapons. So these are the weapons that were seen used on the Zaku 2, on Char's Zaku 2, the origin kits in the new episode of Gundam Battle Log, Gundam Build Fighters Battle Log. And so yeah, again, this is out in October as well, 600 yen for this, and it looks like a pretty cool set. It has the axe, which can be a shorter or longer handled axe. It has this kind of thing, which looks like it's a missile pod, but it's a pod containing 3 funnels, and we have the separate parts for the 3 funnels. Those look like the funnels would be like just one piece each, so they don't like actually open and close or anything like that. So they'll be sort of similar to like the funnels included with the Yakadoga, HG Yakadoga kit, where I think those were just like one piece each. And then a couple other guns, like some kind of handgun and this other kind of like big cannon thing, which does look pretty cool, actually. I do kind of like the look of that one as well. Not so much with a Zaku, but with a different kit, I think that would be a pretty cool weapon. So I'm interested in that kit. I'm looking forward to it. But that is it for all of the new announcements. Now let's just go through some of these updates, some other stuff we have coming out. And again, it's a good chunk of figure stuff, a big chunk of P-Bandai stuff, and then a few other kits we do have coming down the pipe for that. So let's get into it. The Metal Build 00 Quant is coming out in December for 27,000 yen, so $250 to $300 for that. It's not cheap, but metal builds never are. But it does look really awesome, though. I mean, I think once some third-party company, whether it's Daban or Dragon Momoko or whatever, whenever they get their hands on this and produce the plastic model kit, which is pretty inevitable, I would say, I'm sure that kit is going to sell really well because this is a really cool design. I really like this, and I've never seen the movie, Awakening the Trailblazer, so I don't know if it does that in the movie or something, but it's got the look where like all the armor and stuff's like all like stripped away from the legs, and like the GN condensers and the joints are like sort of extended out. Does it do that in the movie? I don't know, but I've never seen the 00 Quant to do that in any of their kind of version, kit, or figure or anything, as far as I know. So it does look really cool, and it has all the effect parts and everything for the little GN bits, I think they were called, or something like that. Metal Build GN Sword 2 Blaster is going to be out in January for 3,500 yen, so this one's cheaper, but it's just the weapon for that, so it's for the 00 Riser or 007 Swords Gundam, I think one of those anyway. Metal Build kit, if you want to get this extra weapons for that, you can get this with this set coming out in January. Next is the Robot Damashi XK Signature Phaz. So this one was announced ages ago, like last year. And we're finally getting some more information on that. This is going to be out in October for 14,000 yen. Again, a very expensive one, but it does look really awesome. And, you know, with the Master Grade Double Zeta Gundam coming out, really hoping that we get some sort of model kits version of this, but we'll have to see using the new kit anyway. I know obviously there's the Master Grade already exists, but a sort of updated version of that would be nice as well. A Verka, I suppose you would say. There's this, which I actually don't think I've talked about in a previous episode, but it has been announced for a couple months. So it's the Converge EX18 XS Gundam coming out in October for 2,500 yen. So there's been other versions of the S Gundam and XS Gundam and Deep Striker in the Converge line, but this one does look really nice, and it comes with a stand, and you can sort of choose some different ways to hold the rifle if you want to actually hold it like firing in the hand, or like across its front, like sort of how the XS does, you know, or like have the rifle standing. So you can do that. You can have a little bit different posing options for this. Not a whole lot really, but something. I love the XS Gundam. I love Converge figures, so obviously I've already got this on pre-order. Next, getting into the Next Edge stuff. Next Edge style Ale Strike Gundam is coming out in October for 2,700 yen. There'll be that, which is just the Strike Gundam with the Ale pack. And then there's also the Next Edge style Perfect Strike Gundam coming out in October as well for 4,500 yen. So it's about $20 more, but you get all the parts in there for the Perfect Strike. So the launcher, the sword, and the other different backpack parts. So you can make a Perfect Strike, and you can mix and match and choose whatever you want to do. You'd have a lot of different posing options with that, a lot of different equipment options and things like that. So, and then the Next Edge style Phantom. This one, I still have yet to see a price announced for this yet, but I would assume around the 2,700 yen mark for this one as well. It's a pretty standard price for these figures. This is going to be out in November. And this one, again, I really hope that Bandai eventually does a model kit of this, because I really like this design. But in the meantime, we are getting the Next Edge figure for that. Alright, getting into the P-Bandai model kits now. The P-Bandai Master Grade Gundam TR1 Hazel is going to be out in September for 4,500 yen. I know we all can't wait for that. I'm very excited. If or when we may see any other announcements related to that, other different variations of the Hazel or anything, I think we'll probably have to wait until after this is released. But I would say this isn't going to be the last we're going to see of the Hazel. It's a pretty fair bet, but so far, nothing other than this. It's also going to be the P-Bandai Master Grade Zaku 2 High Mobility Type Brenneth Oga's Custom. I think it's actually like the High Mobility Test Type. So I think is what that's technically called. This is going to be out in October for 4,500 yen. This is just another one of those MSV Zaku 2s that they do. And this one has, I think, a couple of new parts, basically just for the hand covers, I think. Otherwise, it's just different colors and different water slide decals for that. So for like all the custom markings and everything. There'll be the P-Bandai Master Grade GM2 Unicorn version out in September for 3,600 yen. So a variation of the previously released P-Bandai GM2. This Unicorn version has the more like a Verka styling to it. It's not technically a Verka kit, but it's a very Katoki designed kit, obviously. Next, the P-Bandai Real Grade Gundam Astray Gold Frame Amatsu. in September for 3,200 yen. So this one has different feet, different arm, different shield, but otherwise it's basically the Amatsu Mina, just without the Mina. That was a great kit though, so if you like those kits and you like this one, say 3,200 yen is not a bad price for that. On the other hand, the P-Bandai RE100 Bawu mass production type kits is a big waste of money, coming out in September for 3,600 yen. Not for everyone, obviously, for those people who don't paint and want a green master grade or a green RE100 Bawu, then you might be interested in getting this kit. But if you wanted actually anything in the way of new parts for it, I don't think this is coming with anything except for you have an option of two different color things like clear green or clear pink option parts you have for the mono eye, and otherwise that's it. It's just a different color Bawu. There's also going to be the P-Bandai HGUC Ifrit Custom out in September for 1,800 yen. I just recently reviewed the newly released HGUC Ifrit Schneid, and that kit is really, really good, and that really almost made me want to get this Ifrit Custom. I still don't think I'm going to, because I think I have the RE, and I had, and it's now actually been all built and painted and sold, so I actually don't have it anymore. But between the HGUC and the RE Ifrit Schneid, I don't know if I really need another Ifrit, but I do have a kind of good idea, something that I would like to do with this kit, so I'm kind of on the fence about getting another one, but it is just a really, really nice kit, so I will be honest in saying I'm at least considering it. P-Bandai SD Legend BB Versal Knight Gundam Metallic version out in September for 3,000 yen. This one is another kit that I did review a while back when it came out, but this is basically just a metallic version of that. It's nothing really new for this kit except for just the coating on that. So again, if you don't paint and you're interested in the look of that, this is something that you could be getting. Alright, getting into the standard release stuff, the high-res 100 scale Wing Gundam 0 EW is coming out in September for 12,000 yen, so we're getting some new photos of that. It's basically just some more like in-hand photos. I think these are from Dengeki Hobby, showing some of the details. I'm still not really too into that personally, but it does have a really interesting look to it. It's a really interesting take on the Wing Gundam 0. I'm interested to see if they continue the line. I personally would kind of rather Bandai devote their resources to something else. The high-res line just doesn't really seem like something that a lot of people are really interested in. I could be wrong, but I think a lot of people would prefer to just have more master grades come out, even if they're designs that don't have like the same level of popularity as the Barbatos and the Wing Gundam. Those are obviously super popular designs, but at that price point and in that stylistic form, some people may not like that styling. A lot of people may not like that price. So I think Bandai could be working to use their resources to something a little bit more, I don't know, to what I think a lot of people want, but it could just be me. What do you guys think about the high-res line? Personally, I hope it just goes away as soon as possible. But what do you guys think? Alright, then the big daddy himself, the Master Grade Double Zeta Gundam Verka, coming out in September for 6,000 yen. I'm really liking the new photos that we're seeing of this. We're seeing some new up-close photos of showing some of the details, and especially some of the details of the transformation. The transformation looks pretty insane, but I'm just hoping the kit will be solid. But it does look super well engineered, as you would hope, as you would expect. But it looks like it's going to be a really, really nice kit, so I'm definitely looking forward to this. Like I said, these detailed shots that we're seeing, it looks absolutely fantastic. It's going to be one of those kits that just looks amazing straight out of the box. And so, like, for those people who don't paint, it's going to be one of those that's going to be one you're really going to want to be interested to check out. Next, the HG, the Origin Zaku 2 Type C/C5 is also out in September for 1,800 yen. This one, again, nothing really too exciting or new to talk about this. It's basically just a green version of the Zaku 2 kit we already had out, but it does come with a lot of different interesting stuff. In terms of new parts, it really only comes with a different option part for the chest and then a different kind of shield kind of thing that goes on the side of its arm, depending on how you want to do that. But it does have a nice array of weapons. It's all the same kind of weapons and stuff we've seen come out with previous releases, but we're getting a good amount of that just in this one release. So I think this will be definitely probably the definitive Origin Zaku 2. I'm just hoping that it includes parts to make a head with a commander antenna. Hoping so, but Bandai may be kind of cheeky and omit that on purpose, so that if you wanted to make a commander Zaku 2, you would have to get one of the previous kits. Also from Gundam The Origin, the HG Black Local Type North American Front version out in October for 2,000 yen. This one as well, nothing really too much different about this. It's basically just a recolor of the Origins Gundam Local Type. But it does have a new backpack, which includes new parts for that back cannon, so like what the Master Grade Gundam The Origin has. So also with the backpack, you can store the shield or the just machine gun in place of that cannon if you are so inclined, which is kind of interesting. I don't really know why you would choose to not use that cannon, but if you didn't want to, then you could plug the shield or the machine gun onto the backpack instead. So kind of interesting, and that new backpack does look pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that. The local type is a really nice kit. 2,000 yen, I still think maybe a little bit overpriced for that, but in this case it does seem like maybe we are getting a little bit more than what we got with the local type, so that's better, I guess. And the last thing here, HG Build Fighters Winning Fumina out in September for 2,400 yen. It's just the new version of the Fumina. And it actually looks quite different. I don't know, I'm sure they'll probably reuse a few parts from the Super Fumina, but for the most part, I think this is going to be mostly a pretty all-new mold for this. And it does some cool things. It's got some cool gimmicks built in, and there's definitely some interesting options with this kit. So I'm looking forward to checking that out, sort of, but I still think that Bandai still has a long way to go to improving their kind of girl mecha kits. They just still don't really look anywhere near as good as what Kotobukiya is doing, unfortunately. Alright, let's talk briefly about a couple of the third-party kits that are coming out here. There's the Dragon Momoko Exia Avalanche version metal build style, so it's just from Dragon Momoko, they're like 1/100 scale master grade sort of line. It's the Avalanche, and it's in the style of the metal build figure. So this is going to be, if you pre-order, you can pre-order for $30. After it's released, the just the standard price is going to be $36, so pretty cheap for that. It is going to include, of course, water slide decals, 2 LEDs for that, so that'll be nice as well. And from my experience with recent Dragon Momoko kits, their kits are of some nice quality, so that'll be nice. I'm not sure if I'm going to be getting that or not. I really like the Exia Avalanche. Actually, it's my favorite form of the Exia. I like it. The top half, the extra like big huge claw things on the legs, I don't like those at all. I would just keep those and use them for some other kit bash or something later. But I don't know, I may get that, but maybe not. We'll have to see. It's also going to be the Master Grade Gundam Sandrock from Supernova. So Supernova previously did their version of the Ultron Gundam, and so this is going to be done in a similar style. It's a kind of very stylized version of the Sandrock, so it's kind of interesting that they're doing theirs at the same time Bandai's doing theirs. I'm sure there's no connection at all. It's just happens to be. We knew that Bandai was going to be making one. This third-party company is making their style of them. It just coincidence that they're coming out at the same time. I'm sure it's not related at all, but of course people online are saying, oh, these third-party companies are pushing Bandai to do this, or these Bandai releases are causing people to buy more third-party kits, so third-party kits are making the stuff that people want to buy. It's not related. I really don't think Bandai has these third-party releases on their radar at all. It's just a coincidence. But hey, I don't know for sure. That's just what I think. I don't think there's any connection. Alright, and the last thing here, I do want to talk about at least one featured kits for you guys, but we'll just try to wrap this up pretty quick. This is the Master Grade 00 Gundam XN Riser painted build by HF Clam 2005. I think it's HF half clam, I don't know, maybe, or 2005. But anyway, there's just some nice pictures of his painted build, so I'm currently snapping the kit now so I can get that reviewed for you guys as soon as possible. But he's done a nice job with this, so this was very recently released as a P-Bandai kit, and I just wanted to enjoy looking at this as some inspiration for me to finish mine, and then hopefully working on painting this sooner than later as well. I'll talk more about that in the review. But anyway, this he also did, aside from just painting this up really nicely, he did also add some metal detail parts in there as well, which are pretty nice. If you can take a look at some of these pictures more closely, you can see that where he added the details of these little metal bits here and there. And otherwise, it's just a really nice, simple, clean, painted build of this. The colors all look really good, and it's just a nice build. It's a great looking kit, and from my experience of just building most of the main body so far, I really like this kit quite a bit. So I think I'm really going to enjoy this. and I'm looking forward to painting mine. So that is it for this month's episode of Gunpla News. Thank you guys as always for watching. Leave any questions, comments, whatever, all of that down below. I look forward to hearing from you guys. I've got a lot of stuff to do. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, I just finished up the RX-78-1 prototype master grade. It's the 3.0 kit that I converted to the prototype Gundam as a commission build. Also got the mega size Zaku. I'm just working on doing the last bit of weathering on that. That'll be done. I've got these little guys, these couple little Mecha Troigo kits. It's a set of 2 of them. Painted those up. Also got another little small project that I'm just about to start painting on that. And I've got a whole mess of reviews I got to get to work on for you guys. Also, the resin dress-up kit for the Sazabi, got to get started working on that. And the work on the Tristan Gundam, doing a series of tutorial sort of work-in-progress videos on fixing up the Tristan Gundam. Got to get to work on that for you guys as well. So I'm busy. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I got to go get to work on other stuff. See you next time. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. See you next time.